Hi, everyone. My name is Casey Helferty. I'm Associate Director of Career Development at Gwinnett Mercy University. Welcome to today's meet and greet with the Lenape Valley Foundation. Today, they will be discussing general information about the organization and some current and possible future job positions. So, Andrew, I'll start with you. Could you just tell us a little bit about Lenape Valley Foundation?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. Casey and Nick, thanks for having us and our panel here. We're really excited to have a conversation. So Lenape Valley Foundation has been around for about 62 years now. We are a behavioral mental health service provider, providing a variety of services to those with mental health challenges, disabilities throughout Bucks County and Montgomery County and other neighboring counties. We oversee 32 programs here, each with their own treatment methodology, which you'll hear from some of our panels here. So I don't know if anybody on our panel wants to jump in, kind of say something I didn't about our mission at Lenape, but that's our brief overview.
It covers it.
Since we have a number of panelists here, it might be a great idea to just have everyone just give a quick kind of introduction to your specific area and what you kind of manage. If it's easiest, I can call Chris. You're up on my screen now if you want to go first.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Chris Thompson. I'm an Associate Executive Director of Crisis Services. I've been with Lenape Valley Foundation now for 19, 20 years, something like that, for a while. I've worked in various parts of the organization, primarily in crisis services and residential services. But I've also done a fair share of outpatient therapy and things of that nature, group therapy and things like that. So it's been great working for Lenape Valley Foundation. We really work hard to serve the public in a crisis kind of way. We provide crisis services at Lower Bucks Hospital, Doylestown Hospital. We also have a crisis worker embedded at the St. Mary's Medical Center emergency room for folks who come in there and have mental health struggles. We also have a mobile crisis team that provides mobile intervention to the entire county. And our latest addition is the Crisis Residential Program, which is a 12-bed facility. It's essentially a diversion program so that individuals can come there instead of going to an inpatient psych unit. And we provide individual therapy, group therapy, peer support, medication management, nursing. So it's a very comprehensive program. And typically our average length of stay at the crisis res is about 2 weeks, but sometimes longer and sometimes shorter. So that's our newest addition to the crisis services. And I'll rest there.
Thank you. Nancy, you're up next on my little bar of people floating around.
Thank you. So I'm Nancy Dina Taylor. I'm the Associate Executive Director of Mobile Services. It's the other mobile services outside of Chris's mobile crisis services. So that consists of the Intellectual Disabilities Department, which works with folks who have, an IQ lower than I think like 73. We have about 1,400 individuals in 4 different counties that we serve: Bucks, Montgomery, Delaware, and Chester. We are considered kind of a service organization where we hire supports coordinators that get the services for the consumer or the individual. So we don't actually provide the services. So we're looking for supports coordinator positions. It's an entry-level position, great coming out of school, but you really learn to work with individuals who have an intellectual disability diagnosis, as well as their families, and some of them are in group homes. So it's pretty dynamic. We also have early intervention, which also hires supports coordinators, and they are bachelor level as well. And that deals with newborns to 3 years of age. We did recently have a function here at Foundations where I think the youngest is 16 days old that we serve. We have an ACT program, which is assertive community treatment that deals with adults. We have a 100-slot program for that, deals with adults who have schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, as well as some co-occurring disorders and multiple hospitalizations. So we really wrap a team around the individual, provide drops off medication and therapy and groups. And so we're out in the community really just trying to keep them stable and out of the hospital. So that is a great opportunity. We do hire all sorts of levels of folks in that program, bachelor, master's, nurses. We have a psychiatrist attached to that program as well. IBHS, which is the old wraparound program that folks may be more familiar with. It is now called Intensive Behavioral Health Services. It provides behavioral consultants, mobile therapists, and behavioral health technicians out into the community to work directly with kids and their families. And then, what am I missing, guys? You're right there. Why don't you talk about it?
Sure. My name is Heather Coletta. I'm the director of Lenape's Blended Case Management Program, or BCM for short. I've worked at Lenape Valley Foundation. It'll be 22 years this September, which has gone by in the blink of an eye. But I came to Lenape soon after graduation, and I've stayed. It's just an amazing place to work, both in the work that we do and then the colleagues and the individuals that I work with on a day-to-day basis. So we work with both children and their families and adults in case management, and we work to access community resources and to link to needed services. Right now, we work with about 400 individuals in case management that are receiving services with us, and we have capacity for 16 blended case managers. So we have a pretty large team. We're community-based, so we're out in the community typically with folks, and we see individuals either on a twice every 2 weeks basis or once a month, depending on their level of need. And we access things like housing, benefits, mental health treatment, substance abuse treatment. We look at physical health care, really whatever that person needs to be able to live as independently and self-sufficiently as possible. And so it's a really rewarding position. Lots of great experience. You will learn about every service there is in Bucks County. And I would say that we're a really flexible department. We absolutely work with the employees that are in our department. And it's just overall great position, great place to work.
So, and real quick, I just want to say I oversee the internship program at Lenape as well. So I think we are excited about a relationship with Gwen at Mercy.
Thank you. We are too. Jennifer, Janet, do either of you want to hop on next and share a little bit?
I actually just wanted to capitalize on something that Chris had mentioned earlier about crisis programs. For any of the graduate students or the undergraduate students who are in the field of psychology, know that they want to help others, know they want to provide a service to the community in a social setting, in a treatment setting. Crisis is amazing at the fact that you are not going to be limited to working with one demographic or one population or one age group. So I think that the benefit of coming to work for Crisis, which I always saw as really appealing, is that you're going to see clients anywhere from 4 years old to 94, 104 years old, and anywhere on the diagnostic impressions from we have individuals with schizophrenia, but also individuals who are depressed, individuals who are struggling with substance use, intellectual disabilities. So if you don't know what your niche is yet, we have a nice way to explore and find it. We work with individuals who struggle with, gender identity, individuals who are struggling, with PTSD, just all ages, races, ethnicities, demographics. So it's kind of nice for someone who just really isn't sure what what particular area that they want to pursue, ongoing long-term, because they'll have all of that clinical experience of working with all those different populations working in crisis.
Hey, Jen, can you just talk quickly about how we're organized, like shift-wise?
Yeah, sure. So the other nice part about crisis, which maybe I'll say people love it or hate it, but we have this nice piece of 12.5-hour shifts at a lot of our programs. So full-time is 3 12.5-hour shifts. And then they typically would have, the rest of the time off that's full-time. So we're a pretty big program. Actually, I think at our staff recognition breakfast last week, they mentioned we're like one of the largest programs inside Lenape. We have like 103 staff, something around there. So, we have 2 at Doylestown. In our Doylestown location, we have 2 day shift, 2 night shift. They rotate from 6A to 6:30P or 6P to 6:30A. These are 24/7 essential service programs. So that's 7 days a week. At our Lower Bucks site in Bristol, we have 2 day shift, 2 night shift that rotate 7A to 7:30P, 7P to 7:30A. We have a full-time staff person who works 9 to 5. We also have part-time folks that fill in for 4:30 to 10, 6 to 11. At St. Mary's Medical Center, we're there by contract. We have a crisis worker provided for them from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Our mobile crisis is split up. We have 3 different mobile crisis teams on any given day. We have a 7A to 7:30P team, a 9A to 9:30P team, and a 3 to 11P team. And that's during the week. And on the weekends, it's 1 team of 2. They cover all of Bucks County. We also sustained an initially grant-funded program called a forensic response team program. And it is for individuals who have behavioral health needs and got entangled in the criminal justice system. And what our team does is they go in, they assess the individual, make recommendations for treatment connection, and then help be the liaison between the courts or the correction system and the client and the treatment team to see if there's a possibility of getting a reduction or dropping of their criminal charges based on cooperation and treatment. We also recently launched a crisis call center, and we're hiring for crisis phone operators for people to answer the 24/7 crisis hotline here in Bucks County and provide crisis counseling and support for people in the community, and sort of act as like a triage or a first line of defense to determine what the most appropriate next step for them would be, whether it be to come in, speak to your crisis worker over the phone, file a 302 petition. So there's a lot of opportunities in crisis to do a lot of different things. The other piece of it that's so nice is that they could come in and work mobile crisis and then decide, hey, I want to cross train and I want to work at Doylestown, or I want to work at St. Mary's, or I want to cover some call center shifts, or I want to work with our FRT, forensic team. So the nice thing about crisis is there's just really a whole lot of area for like expansion in your skill set. And just lots of opportunities to make money as well, just due to the nature of being an essential service and needing to be present 24/7 in the emergency rooms that we operate within.
Thank you, Jen. It's great.
I could jump in here for a moment just to extrapolate on, Jen talking about scheduling. All of our programs have their own schedules. What I find awesome is that it's a flexible schedule. We really want to work with students. That said, we could do full-time, part-time, per diem. We really want to make sure that, students' education comes first, because that's their, ticket in, so to say, to, climbing their career. And so we really take pride in helping students in their education journey by offering that work-life balance. So like Jen was saying, you can work full-time, give benefits, PTO in 3 days and have 4 days off, for schooling or whatnot. And I know Janet can talk to this in her residential, we have part-time, we have weekend only shifts. So, if you want to focus on school during the week and work the weekend, we can accommodate that. So we have flexible scheduling. We have the motto of you work to live, you don't live to work here. So I appreciate, that scheduling input. Just wanted to say that.
I think crisis also, Andrew, has probably another interesting fact that the majority of all of our leadership teams started off as line staff. So there's always opportunities for growth and advancement and promotional opportunities. We've just had so much expansion over the years. I know Chris started off as line line staff shift work several years back, myself as well. Several years ago in 2011, started off, nights and weekends. And now we've gotten to be a part of making more administrative decisions. So it's really nice, and there's always opportunities for growth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. And something I was actually telling Casey and Nick before our call was something that, took interest to me was our management staff is so dedicated to Lenape, how long you've all been here, how knowledgeable you are of our services in the counties and that connection, and just the passion we all have. We're such a mission-driven organization, and our culture is fed from that. And everybody feels like they're contributing to it. I know I do, and I'm not a client-facing staff member, and I know I feel like I contribute. Just to be there for staff who do such great work in our community is just where my drive comes from in our mission. So yeah, I love that, Jen. Good point.
That is fantastic. Thank you all. I heard some mentioned as everyone was kind of going through and explaining a little bit, but what are some current job opportunities that are available for students or upcoming graduates or alumni?
So I can maybe start that, and I didn't have a chance to kind of talk about residential services real quick. So I just wanted to do that. We have a full spectrum of residential services. We're part of the Bucks County's housing continuum. So we have everything from settings where we're just a leaseholder and we provide some low level of supervision to settings that are semi-locked. Individuals have to have a serious and persistent behavioral health diagnosis. So we have resident aides that work in our higher level programs that assist people with their activities of daily living, treatment planning, making sure people take their medications and maintaining the safety of our residential environments. Just to piggyback on what Andrew and Jen were saying, I joined Lenape in 2003 as a part-time weekend resident aide. And I've been able to, stay and grow with the organization. So there's a lot of opportunities in residential right now. A lot of them are overnight, which are great opportunities for students because as long as everybody's safe and accounted for, you can study, you can write your papers, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you're completing the very, basic job duties of an overnight shift. So we have those overnight shifts available in a Warminster site, a Levittown site, and a Doylestown site right now. And we do work on the same at the same concept as Crisis, where most of our sites have the 3-day, 12.5-hour shift schedule. So that's all I had to say about that.
Well, so I'll talk a little bit about the option for student interns. Was that kind of one of the questions, correct? So
yes, we'd love to hear about internships.
So we currently have 36 interns throughout our programs. So we're pretty full. We have a variety of programs that take just bachelor level, and that would be blended case management, residential services, intellectual disabilities, early intervention, IBHS. So they will take a bachelor level person. I think we actually have a student that may be coming on from Gwinnett. So that's I think it'll be our first student. And then we have master level spots. We have master level spots in crisis in the Central Bucks, walk-in crisis in Doylestown Hospital, as well as Lower Bucks. We have interns there. We have interns in our partial hospital program. We have interns in our outpatient program. They are pretty extensive in outpatient. We asked for a year. So I know you have some significant social work programs, so that might be a good fit for some of those students. And then in ACT, we also take master's level students as well. So we probably have a spot for almost anyone.
Yeah, and Nancy, we're going to start taking master's level in residential again. We were just kind of pausing because of
and
COVID.
I do have you down, I think, for both, so I apologize.
No, that's okay.
I can say right now for crisis services, we are hiring bachelor's level and master's level clinicians in our programs. We have openings for full-time, part-time, and prorated full-time as well. We're always hiring for per diem staff. So, they're, like I said, usually most of them are about 3 12.5-hour shifts for full-time. So there's lots of opportunities right now with our crisis program.
And we also facilitate internships at Crisis. We currently have a few working right now. I do believe we're at our limit right now, but looking towards the fall to bring on new students. And I actually met with one this afternoon. Yeah, so there are opportunities for internships going into the 21-22 school year, I believe, in Crisis.
And I think I forgot Crisis Lodge. Correct?
Yes, and the lodge as well. That's correct.
Right. So
honestly, our limitations in internship is the supervision more so than the actual programming. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to jump on you there.
That's okay.
Heather, you have openings. What are your openings and scheduling there?
So we have a few openings in blended case management, and we will hire someone directly out of college. So would love to receive some resumes. And it's full-time position, Monday through Friday. Typical schedule is 7.5 hours a day, but we can be flexible in terms of what that schedule specifically looks like. A lot of our case managers are able to maintain full-time employment with us while also pursuing grad school. So that's an amazing opportunity. We'll work with folks while they pursue grad school internships. So it's a really unique opportunity for folks to pursue that education growth while also maintaining full-time employment. So that's about blended case management.
I just wanted to add something about the internships. I think a lot of us were like I was a Lenape intern too. I think Chris was. So, there's opportunities if you're already employed. We do look internally for the internships, and there's so many opportunities at Lenape to go to different departments and learn different things that I found that to be a really valuable part of my education.
Fantastic. What are some skills or traits or general items that you'd look for in a candidate?
I'll go first. We usually start off with unconditional positive regard. We really want individuals who have empathy and consideration for the circumstances of our consumers, and will consistently treat people like human beings, regardless of maybe some of the behaviors they're displaying or some of the other things they're doing. So I think that's the first thing we look for, because people can have all the educational experience, they can have the other work experience, but if they don't have that, it can make it a difficult work environment, because we really need to have that view of our consumers to do the work well.
I would also say they typically need to be capable of, pretty dynamic thinking and be able to handle sometimes a fast-paced work environment. They have to be organized and a very effective communicator. In crisis, someone could go from speaking with, a family who may have only gotten so far in their educational background, and then go and talk to the head doctor of the emergency room. And they need to be able to get that message across clear to both representatives and make sure that everyone is on the same page. We need individuals who are able to balance a level of advocacy with a level of assertiveness, and still make sure that they're providing a customer service, because even though our type of service is at sometimes even an involuntary service for clients who don't want to be there, we definitely stand by the whole mentality of, it's not what you said, it's how you said it, and people won't remember what you said, but how you made them feel. So it's just very important that people can balance those things.
And Melissa, if you don't mind, what do you look for when you receive an application, and you're looking at a resume? Are there things you look for on that resume?
Yeah, I really just look for what the person's experience is and just what they, you're able to give a little bit of detail about what you're looking for on there, especially at the bottom. So really hearing their stories, I love reading those additional little details about why they want to work with us. I feel like that says so much about a person if, they have a story that they want to share, or whatever brought them to apply to Lenape. Those are I really enjoy reading those. And I think that goes a long way through the entire hiring process as well.
Fantastic. So what is the interview process like at Lenape?
I can go ahead with that. So I feel like that changes across several departments. I am the talent acquisition specialist for specific departments at this time. So for the departments that I am working with, I will do all the initial screening, reach out to the candidates, see what they're looking for, talk to them about the positions we have, the open shifts that we have, and match them up with, figure out, okay, they want a 7A to 7:30 p, so I'm going to put them here. And then once we go through my part of the assessment, I send them a writing assessment. They have like a 24-hour turnaround time on those. Once they complete that and send that back to me, I forward their information along to the hiring managers, who will review it, and we'll go from there about setting them up with a formal interview with the hiring managers.
How do students find some additional information or apply for jobs at Lenape?
You could do that directly on our website. We're also on Glassdoor, Indeed, LinkedIn. So we're across several different platforms, but I would say if they want to go directly to our website, it has a lot of information about Lenape on there. And they can look at all the opportunities and see which one, best matches what they're looking for, and go right on and apply.
Yeah, we are trying to post our intern opportunities on our website, but a lot of folks just reach out to me, and then I might be able to hook them up. So I can get you my email.
That'd be great. Is there anything else that anyone would like to just add in as we wrap up?
Sure. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about some of our student related benefits. It wasn't long ago I was a student, and so I love taking an interest in that stuff. So for those who are hired, we're starting to grow partnerships with some of our schools. And for those who are finishing their undergraduate, looking to go to graduate school, come get experience with us. And if you go to one of our partner schools, you can get a 10% tuition discount just for going to that school, so there's a nice benefit there. In tandem with that, we also have a continuing education reimbursement program. So we reimburse every year 3% of somebody's salary for continuing education costs related to their role. So we've had students use it on their college related expenses like books and tuition, or if you take a training and it costs you money, let Lenape reimburse that for you. So we have a reimbursement. We also have a partnership with a company called Peanut Butter, which is a student loan forgiveness refinancing company. So that is a free advisory service for our staff who have student loan debt. Let those people work free for you to refinance your debt or get it forgiven. We also have a lot of our staff, I know Nancy, a lot of ACT staff specifically, like to use the student loan forgiveness program, the public one. Because we're a nonprofit, we meet the criteria that if our staff apply yearly with that program, ESLF, you can get your student loans forgiven after a certain amount of time. The other thing I want to talk about is with our PTO, or paid time off. For those who are full-time staff members, or if you're working in crisis or residential, as Janet and Chris talked about today, all you have to do is work 25 hours a week. Be a part-timer, just work 2 shifts a week, and we'll give you benefits. And with the PTO, we give 15 days of vacation, 15 days right off the bat your first year, to help with that work-life balance I was talking about. So just some student things I wanted to throw out there that I know I took an interest in, and I hope others do too. And I can't rave enough about Lenape. I really can't. I know everybody here is smiling. They feel the same way. I just think we're a passionate bunch of people who really, really love the mission that we do. And so, yeah, I can't speak highly enough.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. For our students, for other employer meet and greets and additional programs and events, please go to our website at www.gmercu.edu/cd and click on events. I just want to thank everyone here from Lenape Valley Foundation today for such a lively and wonderful discussion about all the wonderful opportunities that you have for our students, our graduating students, and our alumni. So thank you all so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for hosting us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.